Oh, hey yo. Make sure this is off. Jeez, what the fuck?
Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Manata. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk.
Chuck Norris. 80s. He's still strong. Oh my god, it's funny. Alright, what's this one? Oh shit. Howdy and aloha. James Montauk. It is December the 19th. Wait a second. Whose birthday? So no, it's February 19th. Oh, my mom's birthday is tomorrow. Oh my gosh. And my ex. Anyway, yeah, can't forget that. She's a good woman. Anyway, um, I'm watching this. Right? You guys watching this? Anybody paying attention? And I'm just, who the fuck writes for this guy? I know he ad libs a lot because they want him to ad lib. They go, you'll read it and then add on whatever you want. But there's just so much. He's, nobody's perfect. Let's admit that, right? Even the great Donald Trump is not perfect. Has his hiccups, downfalls. I think one of his biggest downfalls is he has his own mainstream media. What I'm saying is they're not telling him everything. There's so much he's not privy of, he's naive to, and it's pretty obvious. It's definitely obvious. There's a lot of things out there that he needs to really, try to investigate himself to see if what he's saying or whatever these guys are writing, girls and guys, whatever they're writing for him. And I would get rid of some of these people because honestly, their tactics are ancient and old. But people don't care. I mean, people don't. A lot of people don't care. Like a lot of people don't care about what Biden does or says. That they just like the guy. I don't know what the fuck reason for. This guy right here is clearly pointing out what is actually happening, and what's actually happening is we have a current. I mean, not saying there's this puppet and that puppet, but this current puppet that's in the current administration, supposedly in the White House, because we've seen all the videotapes of him supposedly being in the White House, and then they pan out, somebody accidentally pans out, and it's a fucking stage. I mean, it really is happening. But so we don't know what his purpose. Excuse me. I know what his purpose is. Many of you may not know. Pedo Joe's purpose is to listen to his handlers. His handlers, or the people that control his words, what he says. It isn't Obama. If I fucking hear Obama is fucking telling him to do this and telling him to do that. But where's Obama getting his orders from? Do you think it's Obama who magically became the president twice? Do you think that's him? No. Do you think magically became somewhat of a Vivek in a sense, and this all of a sudden out of nowhere, this guy's like the first black president? But if you ask all the black people out there, especially Kamala Harris, who definitely is not black, right? Or African American or close to it, you will realize that this this administration and many in the past were controlled by a group of extremely influential, uh, financially secure, extremely, and have resources, money, power, people, time, and all this stuff to control a lot. A lot. And the reason why they don't want this guy inside of the White House is because they can't control him. They don't know what he's going to say. He won't follow the script, right? He's not going to follow the script. Where the fuck did I do with that? Biden 3 years ago. Yeah, there's a TikTok that I had. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, come on. Did I save it? I probably posted it and didn't save it. But it was in regards to what presidents were paid, and how when they started their term, what they were worth liquid. In other words, what they were worth, what they had in their fucking back pockets. Every president, all the way, let's go back 5, 10, 20, 30 years, 40, 50 years, even 60, you will see and understand that a lot of these presidents get rich during, gosh darn it, I'm going to find that. I got to find it. So I'm going to be silent so I'll know when to edit this. But I'm going to, I like this one. This guy's strong. Did I save it? What the fuck? Look at that shit. What the fuck? Yeah, there she is. Probably from, she's could be from, Korea or something. That's fine. I get it. But it's not fine. I want people that have worked their ass off, been in the United States, gone through the schooling system, blah, 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 that just don't come through the border illegally and become. Anyway. Don't get me started. Where is it? Look at that. This is stupid fuckers. It's just full of idiots everywhere. It's fuck. Let's hear this. Right. Oh, that's not shit. Oh, yeah. Come on, you posted it, bro. You posted it. You put it somewhere or you didn't. Come on. What is going on? Let's see if I can find it in here. Just a second. Let's watch this for a little bit. Okay. I think I put it in here. All right, there. Nope. Let's see. We're gonna go to home. Who's that? Jesus. Okay, no, it's not there. Where do I see? Oh, here it is, right here.
Here's a list of the last 6 presidents comparing their net worth before and after their time in office. At number 6, you have Ronald Reagan, who was worth around $10 million before taking office and then about $15 million after. Next, you have George H.W. Bush, who was worth around $4 million before and then $23 million after. Then you have Bill Clinton, who came into office being worth around $1.3 million, but he left the White House with a stunning $241.5 million net worth. Next, you have George W. Bush, who came into office being worth around $24 million and then left office being worth around $40 million.
He's not smart.
Then you have Barack Obama, who was worth around $1.3 million before, and he left office with a net worth of around $70 million. And then lastly, you have Donald Trump, who came into office with a net worth of around $3.7 billion, but left with a net worth of around $2.5 billion. Now, let me ask you, out of all those presidents, why do you think President Trump was the only one to actually lose money while serving in the White House?
That's a very good point. Is it because he's in the gigantic governmental laundering scheme that continues to happen? Or is it because he's fine and he can take care of himself and he has his own liquid cash and he can't be told what to do? I think that's the point here. Right? I think that's the point. You if he sold his assets, he'd have, at least 20 or 30 billion 20 or 30 million, in his back pocket. But he holds real estate for a reason. There's a process to it. And if you understand real estate, you'd understand that process. You move it, you flip it, you use it, you put hotels on it, you put golf courses on it, you charge money, you put condos on it, you put homes on it, you parking structure, whatever. Buildings, office, whatever you need to do. And that's what he's done. And then you get your residuals off of your property. Right? But how did all these fuckers make all that money? Does anybody know? Does anybody care? Sadly, no. I had it right here. God damn it. All right, so do you know something? Data. Now, if I go, I'm going to go here over. I'm going to switch over. Now, let's go back and see what he's saying.
They continue because I have a deranged prosecutor. He's a deranged person. And the good news is people get it. That's why my poll numbers are so high, I believe. Because, I would really have, I think we'd be winning by a lot. But now we're winning by numbers that nobody can believe. I think it's why our poll numbers, because they see this persecution that goes on in this 2 tiers of justice or injustice, and they don't like it. They don't want that. This is not what America is all about. So I appreciate everything, and I appreciate all the support we get, because that makes a big difference. When you have poll numbers where, where we're like literally 80 and 90 points higher in some cases, and some of these guys. We have guys running like from Arkansas. He's been at 0 for 7 months. Ada Hutchinson, I call him Ada. It's Asa. The only reason I corrected is I'll say, he didn't know his name. He didn't know his name. He must be cognitive. Don't forget, I do most of this stuff without teleprompters. They do. Biden. No, if I say Ada Hutchinson, oh, they'll do it anyway. I just
There
gave you
it
an
is.
idea. Look, they're starting right there. They'll say, he didn't know his name. No, it's
There's
Ada,
it
but
above.
I call him Ada. But this guy he's the governor of Arkansas. He's got the personality of that floor tile. See the tile? There's a broken tile right
shit.
there. That's about as much personality. And he's a nasty guy. He's got 0 for how many months has he been running? Like a year? For a year he's been running. He's at 0. Chris Christie, who's got...
Asa Hutchinson is such a piece of crap. Just a total piece of crap. You know, and there's so many like that. I mean, the list that he has in his mind isn't the list I have in my mind, or your mind, or anybody's mind. Right? Everybody has a different list of who they think is good or bad or whatever. Right? They're all suspect. They all need to be transparent. They all need to be constantly judged. Thou should not judge. Well, you're in Congress now, and you're in charge of what's going to happen to my country. So, if that's the case, and you work for me because my taxes pay for your salary, right? My taxes pay for your salary. Okay, we don't need people making money like AOC and Nancy Pelosi and all these, and a lot of Republicans that have made zillions of dollars, right? Insider trading, you know it. I mean, you're creating laws and getting rid of laws, or amending laws, or in some way positively or negatively, or you're stripping some law or whatever that could completely change an industry, right? You're sending out subsidies, tax subsidies, and you're doing this and that, but you know you're going to do it. It's coming down the pike. Everybody's on board. So what do? What do these people do? I'm going to tell you what they do. They frickin' call. They call and they talk to their aunt. They talk to their... Why does that keep doing that? Oh, because I keep jumping on here. They keep talking to their brother-in-law, or usually somebody that's not related. That's the process. And that's why you see these people that have the tons of money. That's why you see what I had played earlier. I'm just going to leave it up. You know, Trump is saying the same stuff. He's, you know, and like he just said, he's off script a lot, which is fine. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear somebody that isn't following fucking cue cards of when to stand up, when to sit down, when to walk, when to wipe his ass. That's what you're getting with Biden. It's pathetic. It's freaking pathetic. Right? Have you seen it? You've seen the cue cards. It's not CGI. It's not you know, implanted or what are they called, that not PowerPointed in. You know what I'm saying? When people are able to put things in a video that's, you know, virtual reality, virtual whatever, or then, you know, Photoshop, right? But this is real time videos that you've seen where Pedo Joe, whoever the fuck this guy is reading a card, right? He's reading a cue card, right? And on it, he'll flip it over or turn it with his hand accidentally, and then he'll show it to the rest of the people. You know, he'll show the side of it, and it'll say, "Move your left arm." I mean, literally tell him what to fucking do. You know, sit down, get up. After you say this, sit down. After you do this, stand up. After you do this, move to your left, move to your right, move to your wherever. Right? And I mean, you know, and he just goes off of that and he reads off of that. Very rarely, anytime he says something himself, it sounds like this. You Okay, we all know he has dementia. We all know he's a derelict. We all know that it's a sham. What's that number for? 224-3121. Yeah, call your senator, House of Representatives, and tell them stop the WHO, NATO, UN, stop it all. This is a good thing you should do. Everybody do it now. It's just extremely pathetic. It's not even pathetic. It's not just telling. It's, how do I say this? It's kind of, it's not just revealing. It's sinister. It's sinister what they have this pedo Joe puppet doing to our country. If you've noticed, his job is to completely dismantle it. There's nothing he's doing that's helping the infrastructure, that's helping energy, that's helping industry. The fucking interest rates are the highest they've ever been in the fucking history of the country. Prices have gone up tremendously. Gas, everything, it's just been terrible. And all the shit they keep putting out, like, oh, we started this, we created this, and we made that. No, nothing's happening. They're just, the border's just a big piece, but a part of it. There's nothing this fucking guy's doing. The only thing that he is doing is putting, really, really colorful flags across the White House lawn. That's about all he's fucking doing. Right? And all these people are into this grooming, pedo, molestation crap. This is fucking out of insane. And if you say it's not, come on my show. Come on my show. Double dog dare you. Anybody that wants to debate me on anything I'm saying, they're always welcome. Nobody ever comes. Because I've been taken down on YouTube 6 times. This is my 7th channel. I have a backup 8. Okay, because I keep telling people or conveying to people or announcing to people or basically just alerting people, which I tried to do for Jimmy Dore, right, to keep him from getting the fucking boop, but he didn't fucking, Steph wouldn't freaking read my stuff. I spent over $100 trying to warn that guy. Don't fucking do it, bro. Don't do it. Many people were doing it, not just myself. And I still watch him. I just, God, God bless that man. He's trying his hardest. He just needs to be careful with the people he surrounds himself with. It's not a hit on Stephanie. It's just maybe Stephanie couldn't read certain things because of the community guidelines that are 1984 Orwellian Ministry of Truth, authoritarianism, tyrannical crap, which I understand. But maybe she could have read it or showed him it to all the stuff. I tried to save a bunch of... I may have saved a few people out there. Just with the information I had. When I first got taken down, I had 500 or 600, 700 subscribers. Somewhere around there, around 600. Maybe over 6, maybe under 6. I'm not sure. And I was going in a pretty decent direction. I wasn't really old, but I'd been on since 2017, and I've been putting out some pretty interesting content. The content that I started putting out was stuff that most people, and I know who you are, all the people that wouldn't hit it. I'm going to tell you one was Hardlands Media. They wouldn't touch COVID. All of them actually got fucking Kool-Aided. Right? There was many out there that didn't have the clarity and courage, which Jimmy always talks about, or the fucking the strength. Maybe strength, or maybe they were just absorbed in that crap. I'm not sure what their issue. I'm sure they feel shitty for doing it now. Right? I'm not a fan of Hardlands Media. I'm just telling you right now. I don't, Kit and all these guys. Yeah, I think it's just my upbringing. I will challenge authority. That's me. Not physically, but verbally I will. Verbally I will say, I'm sorry. And the reason for this is what? That was supposed to be a lot of these channels' mantra, right? Their modus operandi was to question authority and its sources at every turn. The only person I know that did it well, that was along with me, was Ryan Christian, and his channels got taken down on YouTube like immediately. Right? I don't even think he has a channel on YouTube right now. Another person that got hit a bunch of times or taken down a couple times was James Corbett, the Corbett Report, not the fucking Corbett nightly host idiot, right? Who else? I know Nico was jumping in there a little bit too. But when all this started, nobody was doing this shit. Nobody was saying what I was saying. I wasn't cussing. I wasn't swearing. There was no pornography. Nobody was cutting off people's heads and all this crazy shit that you're still allowed to put on YouTube. Right? There was no anything sick or twisted or nuts. I just had a different viewpoint. I had a different perspective, let's just say. Right? Which is fine. Everybody should be able to have a different perspective and say what they want to say. I didn't hate anybody. I didn't put anybody down out there on the airways. I am now, because a lot of these people could have saved a lot of people. Jimmy could have saved a ton of people from getting that thing. Right? I mean, who was out there saying it in early 2020? Anybody? Anybody? Who? Who was out there? Anybody that was out there saying it in 2020? There was a few people. I know who they are. And I know people that just came around in like 2021. Oh no, they're watching people falling down or getting this thing and, just going away, if you know the word I can't say. Because of this thing that they were telling everybody that they had to take. I was that guy that was telling everybody, don't fucking do it. That's all I was saying. I said, just step back for a minute. My biggest thing was why would you take... Why... I went backwards on this because... Excuse me. I not backpedaled, but I rewound the narrative of liberals, right? Of progressives and liberals. And I go, so you guys hated the fact that opioids are still around and that they've been killing people for a long fucking time. That's doctor recommended. Oh, here, take this. I know you'll be addicted to it within like a few days, but here, take it. Right? That's still happening. And there were liberals and progressive that didn't like that, were all over that. They hated Big Pharma for that. And then they knew about the talcum powder or the Johnson & Johnson's baby powder or whatever, and some other giant lawsuit from Pfizer. And they had that. And then all of a sudden, boom, mainstream media came after everybody. And who was fucking there still saying, wait a second, let's just think this out a little bit. So you're going to take something. The best example I've always given was the toaster or the car. Somebody sells you a car, brand new, from a dealership, from a reputable manufacturer, and they forget to put the brake discs on it, or they forget to put the brake hoses on it. Well, what can happen? Well, you can sue the fuck out of them if you get injured, or if others get injured because of that. I mean, it's down the line, all the way straight to the top. It's not indemnified, right? But this thing that everybody was taking, the first thing they said right off the bat, well, you can't sue. So why in the fuck would you push that? This guy pushed it, by the way, which still pisses me off. But I don't think he knew. I don't. There's a lot of stuff I don't think he knows. His team in his campaign, I don't think they know. But my point is, And what I'm getting to is there's so many fucking people that just didn't have the guts, didn't have the courage and the clarity to say the shit that I was saying, to warn people of what I was saying. Just hold on. So you can sue a car dealership, you can sue a toaster company if it starts a fire in your house. You can even sue the fucking guy with a hammer. If a hammer hits a guy in the head, that's a lawsuit, even though he's holding it. But you can't touch the people with this freaking thing. This gigantic genocidal weapon. Right? You can't. And you're okay with that? And now there's people these progressives, these liberals, Rachel Maddow and all these people and CNN, take it. You gotta take it. Right? Everybody, Fox, everybody was into this. There was like a few people, myself and a few people saying, whoa. Let's look at the history of these things for one. So I started digging. Like first with a toothpick. What's this? This doesn't seem right. And then everything that I kept going after, I'd have to get a spoon, and then it went to a shovel, and then it went to a backhoe, and now it's this fucking giant thing, right? And by the way, this right here, most of you are going to be scrambling for this information. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be scrambling. Is there a medical procedure or test that a person could take that would indicate or detect if they have had any type of the thing in their system, in their body, in their blood system? It's going to happen. People are going to be climbing over themselves. Once the real numbers coming out, yeah, going to be climbing. But this is where I am now. This is where a lot of people aren't even close to this. A lot of people aren't even close to this right now. They're still talking about Kamala Harris. They're still talking about Taylor Swift, which I'm going to show some from Taylor Swift anyway, because she's such a she has no idea. She gets it, but when she first started, she didn't know what she was into or what was going on. But they created her. Come on. American Idol creates a lot of people. There's a few that are serious, got the pipes, can do the work, are good singers. The guy who does Queen now, he's gay, but he's a great performer and a great singer, in my opinion. I don't know where he stands. Politically, he's probably, who knows, but he's a great performer. 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better than fucking Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is just long legs and a flat butt, in my opinion. I've never seen the flattest, she got the flattest butt I ever seen. But anyway, this is where I'm at. Right? So in the beginning, this is where I was at. Right, here it is. Let's look into this World Economic Forum stuff. Everybody's like, it's probably nothing. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is where everybody should be at. They should be in this holy shit moment. Because we're at the holy shit moment right now. Okay? You have a current in-office administration that is tugging with their mouths wide open on the freaking balls of these people. Seriously. That's where they're at. There's some serious evil stuff that's happening. Beyond even evil. And as I said, their goal. What's their goal? This is their goal. And people can't even come to terms with this. Because there's no other reason to do what you're doing. Or to have been doing what you have already been doing. The end game, just read their website. Go to their TED Talks. Population. Right? Population. It's always population. It's you. You're the fucking problem. Not me. Not me, said Bill Gates in my 15th fucking private jet that I can fly wherever I want that expels more CO, excuse me, carbon, CO2, this crap that you keep warning everybody about. Every time I fly in it, I put more out than like 1,000 people, or like maybe 10,000 people in a day driving their cars. But me, Bill Gates, I get to eat the lobster. I get the best steaks. I get the purest water. I get the purest vegetables and fruits and nuts and berries. I get whatever I want. But you got to eat the bugs. That's what these people want. This is not a joke. I don't see how this is. People are not screaming about this right now. This is what baffles me. Right? Holy shit. When I started researching, and by the way, I gave them one of my emails, so I'm on their list. I'm a member according to them. Right? But I want to see what they're doing, what they're putting out. And the stuff they put out is high quality. High quality. Nothing but the best marketing, advertising gurus the money could buy to put this junk out there. And people are buying it left and right. People are sacrificing their lives. Like I said, I think people are gonna fucking themselves because they feel the need to save this lie. And look, I was there. But I always had a problem when Jesse Ventura was all about, we had so many other fucking issues. How about the minimum wage? Could anybody get hired for under $11 or $12, right? No fucking way. But it's like West Virginia is still $7.25 an hour? Who the fuck can live off $7.25 an hour? Anyway, no, of course not. You guys are being easy on your states as well. Tell your state to fucking step up. Right? I don't care who they are or what party they're from. That's not what's important. Or who they support or whatever. What's important is that you guys, everybody lives better. Okay? And this is something these people don't want. These people they don't want that. They want you digging and shoveling because their way of life is more important. What they're doing, right? Their way of life is what's the most important thing on this planet. And they may show that they're eating this or doing that and this and that, but they're not. If you believe that, they're not. They don't give a crap. You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 1,000,000 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food, gas, clothing, hourly wages, fucking health coverage, right? Clean lakes, clean water, clean anything. It's about keeping them in line. That's their goal. And they're winning. I always put this question out, especially to the liberals and the progressives. And I think this is one of the most important questions you'll ever hear. And it's not small. It's kind of a big question. It's got a couple of parts to it, a few parts to it. But the question is, if, let's just say it was back in the 50s, 60s, kind of the 70s, the early parts of the 70s, I say. You could have one income, which could buy you bread for 28 cents. You could buy a hamburger. I remember they used to have this hamburger shop because something burgers where I could get a burger for 35 cents a piece. A nice little hamburger. And the big hamburger was like 89 cents. But what would life be like for us if we had a wage that we could support ourselves, don't think it's out of the question. That's the mentality that people think. Good companies out there, and a lot of Republican, believe it or not, good companies play their hardworking employees very well. Democrats, I'm sure they do the same thing. But if you want quality work, you're going to have to pay for it. They get that. Most people get that. About a good example of terrible work is you got Dollar General, right, who doesn't pay their employees enough at all. I mean, I've worked there. I'm telling you, it is a sweat factory. It's nuts. A lot of those people deserve so much more. I don't know why they should unionize. They should. And oh no, you're a proponent of union. There's different unions out there. There's a union that takes your money, right, or your fees, or your what do they call that when you're? It's kind of like going to a golf course fee. When you make your monthly donation or whatever that is, you're not paying for some CEO to get richer. Okay, but let's get back to the question, because this is the question that I think everybody should be asking. This is the question that baffles a lot of people. So I hate saying so. Here, I'm going to do it without trying to say so. So here we start again. The question that baffles everyone at the high levels of politics and business, CEOs, etc., and many of those that the working poor, the partial middle class, the middle class. If you had health care, Medicare for all, single payer, if you were able to provide health care for yourself and your family, however big it is, and you were able to take them to the movies, once every couple months, or, which is the usual thing. The usual thing used to be once every month, twice a month. No, once every couple months was the usual thing. And I'm kind of going in a direction here, but so you had a living wage. You could afford to pay just by yourself. You could take care of your wife or your partner, or you could have enough food for groceries, have enough money to save up for a vacation to Hawaii or to Vegas or Florida, or Alaska or wherever, Europe, whatever. And you were paid a decent wage for a decent day's work, and you had health care that you could just easily afford. And it all worked out. And then you had the freshest water, the freshest, not the most tainted and poisoned water, like water from a mountain spring at the top of the Himalayas, like water that you would never taste. And I've tasted beautiful, fantastic water going up towards not Haleakala, but Mount Waialeale in Kauai. There were a couple of springs up there because it is the wettest place in the world. Anyway, and you get the purest water, the purest vegetables. There is no such thing as organic, which should be outlawed. Everything should be completely and absolutely organic. Completely. And you had the best vegetables, the best meats. You could afford the food, best milk, everything you needed that they pretty much had in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, or part of the 70s. And you could really afford your life with a partner and with a family of six. The Brady Bunch. They would never show. Remember the 8 is Enough? Remember that show, 8 is Enough? And then they had the show, the Brady Bunch and the 8 Enough. And they had, it was all about big fat families. The Waltons was a big family. Mary Ellen, get out of John Boy's bed. They had all kinds of weird. It was the thing to have a big family, big strong family, I think Irving Johnson or Magic Johnson, his family, I think he had 11 kids are from his family. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and do that. I'm not saying that. I mean, that's up to you. But the mentality now is no population. But let's just say you were able to have kids, you were able to support them, and everything was going to be okay. What would you do as a mother? Or as a potential mother? Would you go have kids? You fucking damn right you would. Don't give me this, I'm only going to have 1 or 2 kids shit. I mean, some people can right now, but maybe in the future if you could, would you? The only reason why people won't have big families anymore is because when Magic Johnson's mom, back in the day, his dad, his mom, maybe both worked, but they were able to at least feed the kids, all 6, 7, 8, whatever, 10 of them. And they were all gigantic monsters, in the house, 6, 7, 8 feet tall, whatever. But that's my point. My point is if you could survive with what the government was allowed to give to you, you would have a big family. You would enjoy your family. Your family go visit that big family. You'd have a big Thanksgiving. You'd have such a big thing. And I remember when I was younger, we went to houses. Everybody had 4 or 5 kids, 3, 4, 5 kids. Everybody had 3, 4, 5 kids. And there was families we went to that had 6, 7 kids. Right? Everybody had these big fucking families. Right? Because they could afford it. You got your degree. You got a good job. Right? You went out and did your work. There were big families out there. And the problem is now is you can't get that. But my question to you is, what would you do? You would fucking do it. Even if you could afford 2 or 3 kids on your own as a single mom, would you do it? Yeah. Just get some guy, whatever. That happens. But I believe that the dad should always be there. I think the mom and the dad should always be there. I don't care. I mean, there are circumstances, like serious violence or abuse, serious abuse, sexual or physical or verbal, that, maybe this dad or this mom shouldn't be around the kids. This happens. But a lot of this stuff is not really organic. They want the turmoil. This is part of their fucking plan. They want right now for just, that against that and that against that. That's all they want, because it doesn't make kids. That's the goal. They don't want that, that's the goal. Now, I understand that people, well, that's fucked up. No, there's a reason for it. End game. Depopulate the planet about 2/3. End game. This is the end game. Depopulate 2/3 of the planet, population, and then hoard the rest for themselves. But if you're thriving, if you're able to live well, if you're able to buy a house, able to own property, able to travel, able to see other people, able to make friends with other countries in other places, and learn their cultures and enjoy their food. This is what they don't want. The biggest, the most gigantic and most scariest not even Godzilla. Okay, who's Mike Myers? Scariest word to them. Not Michael Myers from SNL. Friday the 13th, their biggest Freddy Krueger word for the global elite is unity. They hate unity. They hate that people come together and start talking. Right? Hey, you know what? You want to do that? That's your thing. Just don't bring it around my kids. Okay? That's it. Just respect my wishes when you're at my house. And don't do it out parading around, showing off your fucking parts. Maybe I'm concerned. No, I'm not. I think I'm just being a decent person. Right? There's a time and place for this. And what do you want to do? Go back to the 50s? Yeah, I would love to go back to the 50s. Let me just tell you a really great time. The best time I ever fucking had, and if you're my age, you'll understand this, is back in the 70s. Man, in the 70s, everything was just wide open. Why? Nothing was safe. Nobody had a fucking helmet on their head. Right? 70s, 80s, same thing. A lot of boomers and millennials. Boomers and Gen Zs. Not Gen Zs. Boomers, millennials. Yeah, anyway. You didn't worry about getting I mean, that's never fucking happened. It was never happened. Right? These things just didn't happen. And, you get home when the street lights come on. As soon as the street light comes on, you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta go, man. Bye. That's it. No questions asked. Everybody's gone. That's it. Street lights come on. You go home. That's from when you're 4 to like, even 4 or 5-year-olds were out in the streets until the street lights came on. Till like 10 or 12. And then when you're 10 or 12, you're kind of sneaking out. But, anyway. But life was really fucking easy. No, I can't say it wasn't easy. It was somewhat more affordable. There were some times that were bad. I know that they had a gas thing going on. There's a few other things that were happening, and there was some serious inequality for women as far as what they were getting paid for work. Now, if you're a firefighter and you're a woman, and if you can haul a 300-pound man down the stairs, then you were going to get you will get paid the same amount. I will fucking make sure of it. But if you're a 120-pound girl and you're a firefighter and you try to pick up a 310-pound man because he's just big, not because he's fat, he's just strong, he's an ex-football player or he's an weightlifter or whatever his thing is, but you can't budge him off of that floor, then maybe you shouldn't be going into those buildings saving people. Let's call that misogyny, call that what it is, but let's just say you're that person. 168-pound man can pull me across a freaking living room floor easily. He'll dig in, use his muscles and leverage, and he'll get me out of there. Now, a 168-pound woman, the bones are just different. Let's just be totally serious. Let's just be totally real. Right? Let's just be totally real. I don't want to paint things like, oh, they can't. Well, I want you to get paid for what you're doing. There are women in fucking business that I can't touch. I'm not talking they type fast. I'm not talking they're good listeners. We're talking gurus in business that are great at sales, great at freaking network marketing or business to business, or they're great at just so many things. There's so many great positions out there for women that they can do, and some that are physically limiting. Let's be honest. Right? Oh, that's just your fault. You're just fucking fat. No, there's big men out there. Okay, let me give you an example. The Mountain. He's probably one of the best fit men on the planet. His body fat is maybe, 18 to 20%. Most people are at like 38 to 40 to 50%, by the way, body fat in the United States, which is terrible. But that guy weighs 330, 350 pounds, give or take a few pounds. You're not moving him. I'm just good luck. And you're not going to put that over your shoulder. Good luck with that too. Right? But a 168-pound woman to a 168-pound man can move. You can't. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. Right? Tim Allen said, and this is one of his greatest sayings, and I think it's true. One of the reasons why men are so infatuated with building things, one of the reasons why men build things, they're just got to build something, got to make something, because there's one thing they can't make. They're a little bit involved in it. For some, 3 minutes involves, for some, 30, for some, 15 minutes, whatever. But the thing is they can't build a baby. That is probably the greatest, most amazing gift on the planet. And it, naturally, It is just amazing. It boggles my mind when I was watching my daughter and just just the daughters. I just can't believe my boys, and it's just crazy. How not only are moms, they're so nurturing. God, without that dynamic, it's not that there's a piece missing, but it's important to have it. It doesn't mean that it has to always be there. And here's why. Because the hunter-gatherer that has been on the planet longer than the farmer, by hundreds of thousands of years, by the way, the hunter was never, the hunter-gatherer father figure was never seen as, and this is important, was never seen as returning to home. Was an absolute. The women knew that the lion might eat the human, or the bear might eat the human, or the shark might eat the human. In the back of their minds, they didn't expect it. There were times when, the women were, did whatever they want, and that's fine. But it's only in recent times when women started to believe that we're supposed to be around all the time. No, we were in wars. We were dying all the time. War after war after war. Most women that were not in the wars, they had one or two or three different men. This is a fact. Some had dozens in the past. So kudos to you. But the thing is I like the family dynamic. I think it's important. A lot of people think it's important. But I think that the family dynamic definitely doesn't have to be just a man and just a woman. That's me. You got a problem with it? Sorry. Because I'm okay with it. I have my daughter, Desiree, right? My other daughter. She is a wonderful, loving, caring person. A fantastic achiever, a leader. I'm very proud of her. She comes from a single mom who is a lesbian with a partner, and they're wonderful people. I think it helps, having a farm around them. I think I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think it's just the individuals that raise the child. I think let's just put out the truth here, because there are some fucking asshole dads. There are some dads who are just like, you know what? I am so glad you never came around because you're such a dick. My dad was a great dad. I think he was. My mom may disagree a little bit here and there. I get it, but he was always working. He was he's a performer. His music was wonderful. When it came to his kids, you could tell he loved us so much. You could see when he was around, we had fun, and he was the sports. He was really, the sports thing was really, really good for him. But the moms didn't like him too much. I don't know, because he was kind of flirty guy. Being in a band all the time, being worshipped by girls all the time. Kind of in a sense that was my dad. It was pretty crazy. My mom had to fight. At one point, my mom said, "I just stopped fighting him off." I remember I was always sitting there next to him, and some girl was like right in front of me, hitting on him, right in front of my face, right? And I almost threw billows and threatened a few of these, and then at one point I just said, "No," So she had to trust him, right? And for him to say, hey, hold on, my wife's right here. Don't say that. It's disrespectful. Which at certain points I don't think he did. But anyway, because he liked my dad was, he was your usual average performer guy, pretty much. But a really super, super good kid, as far as I could tell. My grandfather is pretty much the one that kind of helped raise me. He installed a lot of really good values in me. Diesel engineer, worked in the mines, also had a business for diesel trucks, diesel machinery, diesel heavy equipment, diesel equipment. Was a brilliant engineer in regards to machining and he knew calculus and algebra 3 and all kinds of stuff. He was just a brilliant man. And he had some really, really important things to share with me. So I was kind of raised by my grandfather and my dad with a ton of work from my mom. My mom did at least 80% of all that upbringing. Yes. She did mostly everything. My mom was just amazing. She's still around. Hopefully. She's still around? Yeah. She plays computer games all the time. She's over 80 years old and just doing really great. I'm very proud of my mom and the things that she's done. Just an amazing, amazing, strong woman. You go around my mom, you talk to her, she'll intimidate you. She's intimidating. When I was a kid, I gave her so much shit. I mean, I was just such the black sheep of the family, man. It was so bad. But as time went by, she's my best friend. She became one of my best friends. We go to lots of the casinos together all the time. She likes doing her casino. A lot of moms like going to casinos, which I think is fine. They let them go anywhere they want. They deserve it. My mom deserves a palace in freaking Hawaii. That's what my mom deserves. She deserves a palace. She was amazing, bringing up 4 kids by herself, basically. Amazing, amazing. So, and we're not perfect kids that she raised, and we're not the greatest, but we're still here. We're still doing our thing. My brother's awesome. He just got a master's degree from freaking Berkeley at the age of 60. Isn't that crazy? But I don't think he's working now. Anyway, yeah. Somebody in this green just passed their test. I'm just telling you, a state exam. I'm not going to give you what, but somebody just passed it, and it's going to make a big difference. So I'm very happy and very stoked that I went out to the big city of Kansas City, took this thing, and I'm going through it. And this whole time I'm like, what the fuck is these? Like this whole study guide I've been doing for days, a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks now, like busting my ass, trying to get this stuff in my head. I've been through this similar test like 10 years ago. This one's different because it's different state, different process, a little bit different, somewhat the same in a lot of aspects. The general lines of insurance are pretty much the same. Did I say insurance? Anyway, but I'm just telling you, I was in there. It's a 2-hour test, 100 questions, and I am telling you right now, I just won't, like I told my daughter when I sent her my pass. It's just they don't tell you how you. All they say is you passed. They don't tell you what your score is or anything. Right? My practice test was 82. I got an 82 as my highest, which is pretty good. But usually, I wasn't really satisfied with that because the pass you need 70. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. And as I went in, I just had the first thing I was telling myself is I have the ability, even when I really kind of don't, to retain information and to retrieve it when necessary. And I was telling myself that I was, it's affirmations. I was doing the affirmations. I've retained the information. It's quickly available. I'll get it when I need it. Just trust what you're doing, because I've been through the course. I've taken about 20 of the minor tests and 3 of the major tests in the course. And the first time I took the major test, I was like, what the fuck? I really need to start saying this shit. But anyway, I made it. I got and then I just submit for my license. So anyway, I'm very, very excited. I think not to get too off course here, which, Jimmy's kind of talking about Jimmy, and I apologize for that, because these are documentaries. I put them up as much as I can when I'm able because I want to make sure that my kids or whoever in the future will know what's going on and maybe dig this up and go, oh shit, man, that guy fucking had, he kind of really knew what the fuck was going on. Yeah, it's basically this, going back to where I was going with. If you have the ability to be financially capable of having a decent life, would you have more kids? Would you go on vacation? Would you have a better life? Would you be not so fucking picky about who you're marrying? If you know, or, I mean, I'm just saying, would things be a lot different for you, right? Yeah, of course they would, but that's part of the plan. That's part of the plan. You know, after I just went through some of my life story, I just want to say that's their plan. They don't want you to be able to be successful. Only a few. And you really have to scrape, fight, not cheat to get it. And there's ways to do it. There's ways to do it. There are people out there that have a path for it. Some people have that kind of entrepreneurship. And some people just want to just work at the line and go to the factory. You know, and this is the thing that really bothers me about a lot of people out there is you know, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been on my 5th or 6th year, and I've made, you know, I'm making 7 figures now. What the fuck is wrong? You know, in back of their minds, they say this all the time, but they won't say it out loud. Some might, but some of them won't. They'll say these words. So why the fuck can't you do it? Why can't you be an alpha? Why can't you be a beta or a Charlie? Instead, you have to be a fucking delta. This happens. Right? These people truly believe that everybody that's supposed to be here, and I get you, it's the Spartan mantra, Spartan, I get it. Everybody's supposed to be an alpha. Not everybody's an alpha, man. It's just, there are people out there that just want to get through life and watch their kids grow and see them off to college and go back to the factory. And, you know, and until they get their Social Security benefits or their retirement, hopefully get their pension, and then just kind of sail off into the sunset of going to, like my mom, going to the casino every couple of months. And that's fine. I'm not going to put those people down. They can do whatever they want. Not everybody needs to join your multi-level marketing or network marketing or pyramid thing. Nobody needs to, not everybody's going to join it. It's just the way it is, man. You know? But there are some people out there that might like that stuff or might want to be in that kind of business or think that's important. Because the network marketing, multi-level marketing is a community. It is somewhat of a cult. Don't fucking say it's not, because I've been in a few of them, right? And it gets people together, and this is how they attract people. It's very, very well put together. Well, if I'm doing it, you're doing it. If you're doing it, they're doing it. If they're doing it, let's all do it. So let's all do it, and we'll all do it and get some more people to do it. I get it, but not a lot of people just want to fucking do that. They don't want to be uncomfortably saying, hey, do you mind coming to a meeting in a couple of days? Buddy of mine's got this really cool business, making a lot of money, and then boom, that's, you know, for most people, they'll go, no, man, I've fucking been through those a billion times. No. Right? But I think there's a way out, there's a process out there, right? Before AI, and this is the most important part, before AI or some fucking machine with opposable thumbs completely takes away you, takes away me. This is the thing that should be on everybody's mind. And remember, I alerted you to it. Remember, because this is how it always fucking happens. I alert people, and 2 or 3 years later, it fucking happens. The problem is I'm terrible with this when it comes to like my own relationships. It's really bad. I'm really bad at it. Because I think it's because I'm so focused on others and not my immediate whatever. That could be it. That could be it. I'm just going to get to the nitty gritty of everything. I want Trump. Okay, I want Donald Trump to say the words, the World Economic Forum. I denounce everything the World Economic Forum stands for. I want him to say it. I know Vivek said it. I don't know if he means it, but I want him. I want it on fucking paper. Right? I want them to say I'm fuck the WEF, fuck the WHO, fuck NATO, the UN, and all these money laundering scams. I want these people to say this shit. I'm really just sick of getting the whoever. But in regards to this next year, this is our only way out, guys. It's either a Republican, but it sure isn't going to be a Democrat. The Democrats, the Democrats have become total Democrats. None of them are going to pull you out of this. You might have a little hope with RFK, Robert F. Kennedy. He could be there, right? But if anything, he's just going to take votes away from Biden. That's all he's going to do, because Trump's base is just too big. If Robert F. Kennedy starts to get, and what he's trying to do right now is get the polling, not the polling, it's the poll. He's trying to get the ballot access, right? He is trying to get ballot access in all 50 states. If he misses a single state, that's nothing. It's not going to work. And I know there are some stats that may not mean much, but that could be the state, because there are super caucus purple states out there, or they say they're purple. I don't think purple exists really, unless you're way over to the left and you're sucking on Klaus Schwab's things, or you're to the right, where you're with Trump, and you're saying, you know what, this guy got his 2020 completely stolen from him, and then they've been trying to put him in jail 37 fucking times and impeachments a few times, but nothing that's panned out. Obviously, there's a problem with this guy who doesn't fucking listen to the gosh darn oligarchs, pedopredator class, aka World Economic Forum and their buddies and associates, ETAL. He doesn't have to. This is why they're so scared of this guy. Maybe it's a bloodline thing. I get all that. Maybe he's not in the bloodline. Who knows? But all I know is the way he's always operated, he doesn't like to fucking answer to people. That's just, he doesn't want to be, if he's in charge, he wants to be the one fucking saying, you're fired. Or you did a good job. Or great work. Or you're fired. Or good job, great work, you're fired. People don't understand that. And I think that's what's important about this guy, is a lot of people just think that he's just going to toe the line. It may appear that he is. I think if his campaign is doing what I think they're doing, they're just giving him what he should say. Not what he wants to say. What he should say. That's what I'm saying. Because what he should say is most of the stuff that Vivek is saying. That could be his side talking piece, if you know what I'm saying. Right? That could be the little part of him that's really kind of... Because I don't believe that Trump disagrees with anything coming from fucking Vivek Ramaswamy. And I think I said that right. All right, I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back. Anybody want to come on? Is my channel even up right now? Let me see. Is my channel even up? Or did they fucking block me? Oh, there we are. I'm live. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to take a break. It's only 8:07. I'm celebrating anyway because I just crushed it. Who knows? I mean, I got like borderline missed it by one or two, or just did a good job. I'm just very excited that I fucking passed this thing. It's 100 fucking questions, man. It's awesome. I'm totally stoked. Totally stoked. Okay, I was over here and I was going in. Not here. It was. Did I put it? Yeah, right here. I want to show you this. All right. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, yeah, you can see my channel. Okay, good. I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to stogie. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, by golly. Oh my gosh, by golly, Miss Molly. We are going to have a debate pretty soon in regards to the moon. Not from myself, but and I think Snork's going to come on. Well, that's, gosh darn it. Hang on. Let me go to my history. It's in my history. Come on now. Where's it? Here it is, right here. Okay. I'm going to get a commercial. Everybody knows that. Who fucking plays these games? They're so fucking stupid. God, I'm sick of that.
List of the United States.
Okay. How long is this?
Hawley, you're recognized for your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Shogun.
Colleen Shogun, Holly. Let's look at what she does. Right? And she knows that she's just there for the dog and pony. Kogan. K-O-A. Was that Kogan? Oh, come on. Shogun, as in Shogun. Okay. All right. What is her thing? Archives, Nation, Shogun. Appointed as archivist? What the fuck is that? Alright, let's just see what her thing is. Boston College. Oh, she went to Yale, of course. 75 is an American academic serving archivist of the United States. What the fuck is an archivist? Oh my God, she's still in the archive. She works at the National Archive. Oh God, she's gonna steal shit now. We're fucked. Early life, career, professor, Congressional Research Service. Congressional Research Service. What is that? National Archives Records Administration since 2022. But what is this? I'm going to open this in another time. I don't want to see what this is. This is Congressional Research Service. Public Policy, United States. It's a title. It's a nonprofit. Oh, annual budget 130. Oh, it's a fucking. It's an actual. Oh God. Okay, so gotta hear what she said. How long is this? It's long. It's 11 minutes, and then it goes to crochet. But the question I'm putting here is, in regards to this, does anybody want to explain to me why a government official, right, still one, is able to clearly commit perjury in Congress? I mean, this has been happening. I mean, we all know why, but this one's amazing because this is all we're hearing lately, like just crazy.
When you were here last year, a number of senators asked you, including me, a series of questions about articles you'd written, public statements you had made on social media that were, I have to say, pretty grossly partisan, and I thought offensive, and you and I went back and forth about it. After that, a number of us asked you questions for the record relating to these statements. I want to follow up on one of them. I, in particular, asked you to give us a full accounting of the public posts that you had made on Twitter. You had locked your Twitter account before you came before this committee. It had previously been public. I asked you to provide the public posts that had previously been available on Twitter because the ones that we have were pretty disturbing. You responded as follows, and I quote, "My personal Twitter account is comprised of posts about my mystery novels, events at the White House Historical Association, Pittsburgh sports teams, travels, and my dog," end quote. Is this an accurate statement?
Yes, Senator.
I just remind you you're under oath. Is this an accurate statement?
Yes, Senator.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your Twitter posts then that I was asking you about. On February 18th, 2022, you posted on Twitter bemoaning the dropping of mask requirements for children, including those under the age of 5. Do you remember that post?
No, Senator. Those tweets were in my personal capacity.
No. I asked you, would you give all public posts that you had made on Twitter? You said no, effectively, and you said that your Twitter posts consisted of mystery novels, events at the White House Historical Association, Pittsburgh sports teams, travels, and my dog. And you just told me now under oath that you stood by that. So now let's talk about your Twitter posts. On February 18th, 2022, you posted bemoaning the fact that mask requirements for children under the age of 5, one of whom I happen to have, by the way, have been dropped. Is that a post about your dog or sports teams?
My social media is in my personal capacity,
Answer
Senator.
my question, please, because you've testified under oath that you only posted about your dog and sports teams and novels, and you also said you wouldn't give this committee any of your public posts. So, is your post on February 18th, 2022, bemoaning the lifting of mask requirements for children under the age of 5, who I might just ask, all of the data has said is extremely harmful to children, these mask requirements? We'll leave that aside for now. Is that a post about your dog or sports teams? Yes or no?
My social media is in my personal capacity, Senator.
Yes or no, Ms. Shogan? You are under oath before this committee, and I have to say, you have placed this issue squarely in record by repeatedly refusing to answer. Yes or no?
My social media is in my personal capacity, Senator.
So you're not answering my question. Let's talk about another post. 26th of May, 2022. You talk about an assault weapons ban, retweet a post, ban assault weapons now. Say you agree with this idea that you have to be a certain age to buy so-called assault weapons in America. Is that a post about sports teams or your dog or mystery novels?
My social media is in my personal capacity, Senator.
What about the post on January 5th of 2021 in which you say that Ted Cruz ought to stay in his own lane and not worry about what's going on in Pittsburgh? This is a reference, I think, to questions he had about the certification of the last election. Is that a post about your dog or sports teams or mystery novels?
My social media is in my personal capacity, Senator.
What about the post, you remember December 10th, 2020, where you said that you were hoping that President Trump would have his vetoes overridden, and you agreed with the post that he was a weak policy president? Is that a post about your dog or sports teams or mystery novels?
My social media is in my personal capacity.
What about your post on January 5th, 2021, in which you speculated that President Trump would pardon himself next, participating in a conversation about the certification of the Electoral College? Is that a post about sports teams or mystery novels or your work at the White House Historical Association?
My social media is in my personal capacity, Senator.
What about the post? Do you remember this one? I said we seem to be having an incredible case of amnesia, but maybe you remember this one. This is from December 3rd of 2021, in which you advise an individual who goes by Meg on social media that the Library of Congress, you advise this person to complain about religious flags that have been planted on the grounds of the Library of Congress, and you say that they ought to be removed. And you go on to give this person advice about how to complain and have them removed. Do you remember that post?
My social media is in my personal
Do you remember the
capacity.
post?
My
Do
social
you remember
media is
the
in
post?
my personal capacity, Senator.
I have to say, I have been here for 4 years in the Senate. I have never seen a witness stonewall like this before. Never. I've seen a lot. This is extraordinary. Do you remember this post? December 3rd, 2021.
My social media is in my personal capacity, Senator.
I mean, this is unbelievable. And you want to be the archivist of the United States. You lied to us under oath. You lied to us in your QFRs. You just lied to me a second ago under oath. And now you're sitting here stonewalling, not answering questions about public posts that you've made. Are you a lawyer, Ms. Shogan?
No, Senator.
Are you familiar with the Shurtleff case at the United States Supreme Court?
No, Senator, I'm not.
Well, in that case, the Supreme Court held that, in fact, it constitutes viewpoint discrimination for a government entity to remove religious flags from its property when it's opened up the property to allow other people to put flags on it. Exactly the question that you were addressing in your public posts on Twitter. You're giving legal advice, which you're not qualified to give, directly contrary to the United States Supreme Court. I just wonder, does this have to do with your view that you wrote about that the religious right is connected to the rise of anti-intellectualism in American politics? Is that why you said what you said about religious flags, that the religious right is a force for anti-intellectualism? Explain that to me.
No, Senator.
Do you stand by your comment that the religious right is part of the rise of anti-intellectualism in American politics?
Senator, that article was written. It was about how Republican presidents use common sense terminology to effectively communicate with Americans.
Yeah, in which you said that the religious right, the rise of the religious right is part of the rise of anti-intellectualism in American politics. I just point out that's the article in which you say anti-intellectual, the title is Anti-Intellectualism in the Modern Presidency, Republican Populism. Very nonpartisan. Dr. Shogun, I'm going to ask you again, will you give to this committee your public posts on Twitter? Will you make them available to this
My
committee?
social media is in my personal capacity.
Mr. Chairman, I have to tell you, this is the most extraordinary thing I have seen in my brief time in the Senate. I have never seen a witness blatantly lie under oath like Dr. Shogun has just done to this committee, stonewalled this committee, and just repeatedly refused to answer my questions about her own posts that are in public. For these reasons, I will oppose your nomination, and I strongly, strongly urge this committee to take action on this and force this witness to own up to the fact that she is misleading us right now before our eyes, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Carper, you're recognized for your questions.
Thanks. Shogun, Dr. Shogun, why don't you take a minute and just to respond to some of what we've heard from Senator Hawley, please? And I promise not to interrupt you.
Thank you, Senator. I would like to highlight my nonpartisan record that I have achieved for the past 15 years in service, in public service. 8 years at the Congressional Research Service, 4 years at the Library of Congress, and the past 3 years at the nonpartisan White House Historical Association. I have worked very effectively with Republicans and Democrats in all of these capacities. When I worked at the Congressional Research Service, I worked with hundreds of members of Congress and senators, committees, majority and minority alike, walked into offices, helped them get from point A to point B.
Oh, that's hard.
Regardless of
Anybody could do her fucking job. Anybody. I could do her job. She was a librarian, right? Not putting librarians down, but I don't think you need a college degree to be a librarian. Maybe you just have to be able to read, right? Maybe you just have to be able to read if you're a librarian. Okay, she worked in the Library of Congress. I don't want her in there. Somebody that says to these questions here.
Do you stand by your comment that the religious right is part of the rise of anti-intellectualism in American politics?
Senator, that article was written. It was about how Republican presidents use common sense terminology to effectively communicate with Americans.
Yeah, in which you said that the religious right, the rise of the religious right is part of the rise of anti-intellectualism in American politics. I just point out that's the article in which you say anti-intellectual, the title is Anti-Intellectualism in the Modern Presidency, Republican Populism. Very nonpartisan. Dr. Shogun, I'm going to ask you again, will you give to this committee your public posts on Twitter? Will you make them available to this
My
committee?
social media is in my personal capacity.
Mr. Chairman, I have...
Don't you wish we all could say that? My bullshit I throw up is in my personal capacity. Right? You can't say that. It's been one-sided, right? They've been going after me. They go after, Jimmy Dore. They go after Nico House, right? They've been after fucking Alex Jones like crazy fucks. They've been after, whoever that just has something different to say. Doesn't tote the line. That's the problem. Okay, because we are looking at an administration that is completely since 2020, since 2020 began, that administration has been completely and fully the most tyrannical, authoritarian, dystopian dictatorship that I've ever seen, ever witnessed in this country. The Ministry of Truth wasn't a joke. It was real. It's still there. There are people. I've had a couple of my channels. I've had a lot of my channels taken down on YouTube, but that shouldn't even happen. That should not even happen in a country that bases itself on free speech. As I keep saying, the most threatening word to these pedo-predator class, oligarchic, sociopathic, psychotic weirdos that actually run this country and many others are the reason why this is happening to people. They don't want you to be together. They don't want you talking. They don't want you coming together and say, hey, you know what? I know you guys started let's just say I'm talking to Klaus and Yuval Harari and I'm talking to Bill Gates and then we're all sitting in a room together, which I'd be more than happy to fucking do. I would. I don't care about anybody else. I don't know if anybody else would, but I'd love to. Look, I understand your goal, right? We know your end game. Get rid of as many people as possible. Easier to control the rest of them. I get it, right? But we just aren't buying it anymore. And actually, it's definitely goes in the category of crimes against humanity, and then definitely goes in the category of domestic and foreign terrorism, and then it also goes into the category, right, of the most felonious criminal acts on the planet. When the numbers come out, and I'm telling you again, when the numbers come out, everybody's going to be scrambling to know who has it and who doesn't. I'm telling you, because this is what I said about what happened in early 2020 is what Jimmy just said the other day on his Twitter. World War III started a long time ago. And I just said, hey, well, you're just reiterating what I fucking said, and many other people have said. People like G. Edward Griffin, people like I should put his picture up. People like James Corbett, right? Brian Christensen had this notion a while back. He was actually on this show. We had people like Andrew Kaufman on here, a doctor. We've always had, thankfully, one of my good friends, Snork, who's an engineer that has a lot of interesting ideas for the future for power and resources and stuff, which I think are brilliant. But nobody wants to listen to this guy. He can save money, he can do a lot of stuff. It's not really, he understands the environmental impacts and all those other things, which are important. His thing is about pollution, and I'm with him on that. I just don't like the pollution, right? If you're surfing in the whatever ocean you're surfing in, and I've surfed in the Pacific Ocean a lot when I was younger. And the worst thing I hated was when I'll get up and the first thing that slides some way into my mouth is a cigarette butt or just some piece of plastic or something, And then, if it can go to my mouth and humans populate the ocean like 0.0000001% of the ocean. So for me to get that, in my mouth and hopefully not swallow this crap, kind of tells you what the rest of the fish are getting. And you can't, some of these streams and some of these rivers and some of these lakes, you can't eat the fish anymore. Think you Dow chemical. There are things in your community that you could use to wash things. Hot water is probably one of the greatest disinfectants ever. The sun itself is one of the greatest disinfectants out there. There's bacteria that's bad for you that as soon as the sun sees it, it's dead. It's gone. Hot water is like one of the biggest things. It will kill all kinds of stuff. But they're making these chemicals. Like, you need all these chemicals. You don't need the chemicals. You don't need the chemicals. The disinfectants and all these, insecticides and all this other crap. It's all bullshit. You don't fucking need it. Soap and water. The greatest thing about soap, when they first created soap, is scientists in the day did a study on the regular bar of soap, which we used to have when my grandmother used to buy soap. Was this brown bar of soap, but I'm gonna tell you, it had the freshest smell. It didn't smell like flowers, didn't smell like potpourri, didn't smell like lavender. It just clean. It's just, there was like really not a smell. But the thing is, it was so slippery. It was so extremely slippery and then it would wash itself off. So everything on your hand would go away. You guys ever heard the stuff of orange? They use it for when you clean your hands for a degreaser. This guy created this orange stuff, which people still use to this day, but it's almost biodegradable. In other words, it doesn't really hurt the environment, but kind of. And it would just take off all the grease and crap on your hands after working on a car. Right? And by the way, when you're working on a car and that greasy stuff on your hands isn't going to fucking kill you. Right? The stuff... We're so ass backwards. We've been so hypnotized to thinking, when I go into a house and I smell nothing but lavender or fucking some made up Febreze fucking smell, immediately my nose starts watering and my eyes get puffy. It's chemicals. It's junk. And then the people will say, oh, no, this is pure stuff. It burns. There are leaves out there that you can use and petals and certain flower petals that you can kind of simmer in water that create a nice aroma. That's fine. And people use that. That's good. But when you get this stuff out of a bottle from a big factory, you don't need it. Your kids don't need it. It causes asthma. Some of that shit causes asthma. Some of that shit causes, just your immune system to go south. A lot of this stuff is just terrible. Anyway, my point tonight, if I was able to make a point, for my documentary here, 12/19/2023, is there's a group of people out there that are getting you to buy the Kool-Aid. Really the Kool-Aid. Now, this Kool-Aid, many of you have already bought. Jimmy Dore's bought it twice. Okay? And that's fucking Jimmy Dore. What does that say? This guy is all about clarity and courage, but for some reason, he took this thing once, and then he took it again. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, not everybody can do it. It's not easy. It's not that I'm lucky, because I'm not lucky. I am fucking far from lucky. The thing about what happened with me is I just looked at it like a regular product. I said, you know what? If this stuff is completely indemnified, then if something happens to me, what am I going to be able to do? Right? Nothing. So why would I take something like that? Why would I go in a car with no brakes? Why would I buy a toaster that blows up in my kitchen? Right? Why would I do that? Why the fuck would I even come close to doing that? It's just insane, man. It's just fucking insane. Anyway, I'm voting for Trump. Right? Tucker Carlson is now saying that we may not even have an election. And I've been saying that for, I don't know, a couple of years now, maybe longer. That these people will do anything they can to not allow the puppet they want in office. Because the puppet that everybody thinks he's a puppet, but he's not. I just showed you why. He lost money after being the president of the United States. He lost money. It had nothing to do with J6. It had nothing to do with all this other propaganda and bullshit. It's because he actually was in there to try to help. And the people that surrounded him were all a part of the establishment. All of them. He knows now. I think what he's doing now is going through the motions, saying and doing what he has to do. But when he gets in there, something in the back of my mind, because I've seen his look. His look on his face. And I'll tell you, and I'll show it to you, because it's important that you see it. Because I really believe, especially when they made him take that fucking mugshot, right? I gotta talk about this real quick. This was really a fiasco. I was like going, what the fuck, Jimmy? So Vivek Ramaswamy was on with Jimmy Dore. At first he was supposed to give him 2 hours, an hour, and then it turned into 35 minutes. The whole time that Jimmy's trying to get to his point, trying to make, first of all, Vivek wasn't watching any pictures or any video that Jimmy had. So, Stephanie said that maybe it was her fault. She should have made sure. Of course. Every time you have somebody that comes on your fucking show, right, that's an important, and you want to show them or prove to them or go over a perspective with them, you better make sure they're watching what you're showing them. I don't know if that was purposeful or that's kind of weird, because everybody that I know that's ever been on Jimmy's show that I've ever known is usually able to see what he's throwing up on the back screen. So, Steph, you're wonderful. We love you. But I'm telling you, that was a big mistake. The biggest mistake was allowing Vivek to keep talking. It's called Political Speech 101. It's the greatest debate tactic ever used. By the way, I used to work in high school. There's some of the people that were running for office used to do this debates. I go, just take up their time. Try to take up as much as their time. So what Vivek did is he came in and he kept saying the same old fucking thing over and over. And then Jimmy couldn't get out what he wanted to say or prove or convey to him. And he did that on purpose. It's how they work, Jimmy. You fucking should know this, bro. It's that simple. You should know. And I put in a text. I paid $5 to put in a super chat saying something to this effect. Take as much time as possible of speaking and not allowing you, the host or the interviewer, to ask the pertinent questions, comma, politician. I should have put politician 101. It's that simple. You got to hold these guys in a position where, okay, so I'm not asking for yes or no question. I know we don't have a lot of time. Like 30 seconds to a minute, could you just give me kind of just a synopsis or a quick summary or of what you think about this? Because I want to get through a lot of this stuff if you don't mind. Okay, that's it. But the whole fucking time that Jimmy had like 2 questions he got at. And I'm watching it happen in real time, and he got fucking buried by this kid who is trained, who's hailed Harvard, wherever the fuck he came from. They understand the process. If I take up the time needed to keep you from asking the questions that could put me in a bad light or, in the corner, then I win. That's what happened to Jimmy Dore with Vivek. Jimmy and Vivek 101. No, it wasn't. It was Vivek. Vivek fucking crushed you, dude. He crushed you. And I don't know if Stephanie read my super chat. I wasn't the whole time. I was busy working on my studying, by the way. But that didn't come out the way Jimmy wanted it to work. I'm going to say 101, Jimmy, and if you ever listen to my show, I'm telling you right now, dude, sadly, you don't have much time here. And I mean that as a person that tried to warn you, okay? Me and probably everybody else that you said, oh, I'm taking it, let's take it again. Whatever. I'm sorry. It's just, where you're at. I'm not, that I'm fucking right. But when you have somebody that comes on, I am telling you, for one, make sure they can see your program. That's really weird that didn't happen. Can you see what Jimmy is showing? Let's go over everything so you make sure you're set up. So if he wants to post something, you can see it. If you'd like to post something, you're welcome to post it yourself. You have to give them the ability to do that. Okay? One-on-one, or if you're debating, you got to give the other team a shot to get that information out there. But Vivek came on and used the oldest trick in the book was, I speak over and over, same thing, over and over. Clock keeps ticking. I take up my time. I got to go by. That's what happened. Because I'm just watching Jimmy just going, okay, I get it. Just didn't fucking just say, okay, excuse me, sorry, just a second. Do you mind if I give you a few more questions? And if you could summarize it, quick synopsis, yes or no would be wonderful. I know that doesn't happen in politics, but just if you could do that, and that's the reason why people don't come on this fucking show. Because they don't want to have to be I know all the fucking tactics. You know what I'd like to see? I would like to see, and I've seen this, and I think it's great. Trailer Park Pundit. She's had people on her show. I love it. She's amazing. Shanda. But I'd like to see maybe one or two guest every once in a while on Beauty and the Boomer. Somebody just come on, ask some questions. But I've always asked anybody want to come on the show, and I'm waiting for somebody to come on this show and say, I know you're voting for Trump, but why are you doing it, Jim? Then give me a chance to tell you, because it's really simple. Okay? He's at the high school ballot retrieval moment up on the behind the podium. The Trump's on the left, Biden's on the right. This is high school scenario. They're counting the ballots, and then they say that Biden wins by this landslide amount, 81 million, in this gigantic high school. And then down the road, we start to see immediately that it was bullshit, it was a lie. And then we find out that the person that filled out all those ballots was Joe Biden. Do you think Trump deserves his, knowing that was totally and completely rigged? Do you think Trump should be the leader of that, should be the president of the high school? What do you think would happen in the high school? Oh, hey, Cheryl. Oh, man, Cheryl, I've been on here since... I know, you got other things going. How long have I been on here? Oh, man, Cheryl, I've been on here since... You want to come on tomorrow? I'll come on tomorrow. You got other things going. How long have I been on here? I've been on here for a couple hours. I've been on here since... You want to come on tomorrow? Because I was just going to shut it down. I'm super, super sorry. Give me a time. Could you give me a time, and I will give you that time. Cheryl, if you're listening, do me a big favor. Don't leave. Let's do this. Okay, by the way, that whole thing with Vivek Ramaswamy was fucking pathetic. He was just able to, he just did his thing. What do we got here? Just more stuff. Oh my God, Roseanne Barr is coming up on January 10th. Oh my God, that's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be coming on. That's awesome. Okay, that's cool. Oh, Starfield. I play Starfield. Anybody want to play Starfield? Play Starfield. It's fun. I just like it. That's gonna be cool. Yeah. So what I'm saying, Cheryl, it's real simple. I'm gonna bring up some information if you want me to. What I'd like to do is have things ready for you to talk about, and then I'd play a little bit of it or all of it. Then you go ahead and comment on it. But the things you're showing me, I like. It's amazing stuff. But we have to. But if you want to discuss it, we can discuss it. You know, we can go into more in depth of it or something of that nature, which I think would be good. But give me a time. I'm looking at my. Let me see if you got a time tomorrow that you want to stop by here and see if you put it up. Anything here? See if you got a time tomorrow that you want to. Hi, it says hi. See if you put it up. Anything? Okay. Hey, Cheryl. They're just, you know what? Do this. Just Facebook me, message me, or whatever. You can text me. I got my text and all that. Just let me know what you want to do. But I want to start throwing some of the content that you're sending to me. You know, I might not be able to play it, but I might be able to show pictures of it, if you know what I'm saying. Because some of the stuff is against the community dystopian, tyrannical, authoritarian guidelines, Orwellian guidelines. But anyway, yeah, I've been on for like 2 hours now, so I'll go on tomorrow. Let me know when you want to come on. Set up time, and try to find Eric, because I'm going to start really pushing here pretty soon for Trump. Because that's really going to piss these fuckers off, I think. But I'm gonna show you this real quick. This is really funny.
At the end of this video, there was a petition, and there still is a petition.
Taylor Swift wants you to sign a petition so that Congress will enact the Equality Act, stating that we're all created equally. Who's going to tell her that we've already got one of those? A document written in 1776 and ratified in 1784. Who's going to tell her?
For the Equality Act, which basically just says
That'd
we
be
all
nice.
deserve equal rights under the law.
You know, she may be a billionaire, but Taylor Swift ain't that Swift.
At the end of this video, there was a petition, and there still is a petition.
Yeah, Kramer's awesome. You guys got to watch him. He's on TikTok, though. All right, the thing that Josh Hawley tried to get rid of. Fuck, what a dumb move. Anybody that wants to interfere with the internet or free speech is an idiot. And I'm just going to end with this. Now, if you go to my page, my YouTube page, or go to my Odyssey, or whatever you want to do, everything's listed here. Like and subscribe, get more people to pay attention. I don't know. I guess they block people because nobody ever does. Maybe because I shit talk Jimmy all the time. Oh, whatever. Right? Whatever, dude. Let me see here. Yeah, there's that chick. Oh, God, what a piece of crap. Her and the Pfizer King, right? Kelsey, the Pfizer King. Hey, show. So, sure, let me know if you want to come on tomorrow, and I'll be up and ready, and we'll get things moving. And because I sit here for a long time, and my butt gets literally sore from sitting on this, and I just don't want to be here for 50,000 hours. Okay, I'm just telling you. But anyway, let me see. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys all for... Oh, I was just going to say. Let me go here. I'm going to go into my UberTube. And I kind of want to show you what I got here. So you know what's going on. Right? So you know what's going on. All right? So this is what you need to know that's going on at Montauk. All right. Here's all the information here. Stop the... This is where you go. This one's kind of an old post. Where did this come from? I had more stuff on it before. Where is it? Oh, this is weird. It doesn't show my other stuff on here. Anyway, this is old. What the fuck is Restream.io doing now? Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, I need to look at that before I shut it. This is the question everybody's going to be asking. Because you're going to want to know if you got that crap in your system. And I'm telling you, if you got it, if you got the thing, you may not have this thing. You're going to be surprised when there's an unbiased, ungovernment controlled, totally transparent service that comes out that creates this and gets it out to everybody. You're going to find out that people that had it 1, 2, maybe 3 times didn't get it. You know why? Because some people are full of shit, right? And some people were in just the right place at the right time, or the right industry. The Bible was marked correctly. This is going to happen. Fuck, I hate when I'm right. I hate it. I hate it. I was right today when I took that test, though, baby. Licensed. I'm a licensed. Licensed state. Oh, my God. That's cool. Yeah, I just need to start working with somebody. I just thought about it. I'm not making any money right now. I need to make more money. It's coming. Actually, I can't tell you what's going on financially, but I can say this. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I've already bought my ticket to Hawaii. I'm going in April. I can't wait. I hope Snork comes out with me. I think we'll have a good time. I can show him around. Show him how to surf. That would be cool if Snork would go surfing. He's a little mad at me right now because I'm not really buying the moon thing. I got people out here that are telling me, the moon thing is a little shaky. So you're kind of leaning in the right direction there, Jimmy. This one link that I saw, I've been to it. It's called AmericanMoon.org. Right? I'll show it to you real fast here. AmericanMoon.org. I might even get my channel taken. I'm just showing you this. There's so much information. Don't know where to even begin. It's just crazy. Not crazy as in doesn't make any sense, as is it makes so much sense. You don't get a notification. Okay, this is what happens. I found out. Every time my channel gets a ding or a restriction, all the notifications go off to everybody. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I just found this out. So what I have to do is tell everybody to re-notify themselves. So, no, it's not your fault. Sorry. It's the Orwellian 1984 dystopian authoritarian Satan-loving freaking YouTube community guidelines ass wipes. Okay? That's basically what's happening here. But anyway, there's some stuff in here that I'm going to go over with Snork. I'm just not convinced. There's just... The biggest question I've always had about this has been, so we go there, but then we stop for 50, 60 years? We stop for 40 years? For 40, 50 years? We just stop. Is that it? There's nothing there? I've always said that the moon would probably be the greatest launching pad. Because you don't need a lot of thrust. Right? The greatest launching pad to fricking send something. But the problem is it's outside of the Van Allen belt. Okay? And this beautiful, wonderful, God-given planet that we have. Cheryl, tomorrow night, just tell me when. And I'll have it. I'll be ready. And then we can start from the beginning. I can show your videos and get things moving in the right direction. Find Eric. I got to email Eric. I want to try to get the old players. I'm going to send out some emails since I got my Twitter back on. I can email some of the people that used to come on with us. I'm going to see if they're still around or even still alive. I'm also going to try to get this app of the people that aren't here anymore because of something that they took in 2021, in 2022, and some in 2023 on my Instagram, which I think I can get it. I can show this on here, right, of all these people. My God. This is so crazy. It's different every single one. There's hundreds, thousands. My God, man. So terrible. And it's these people here. Not these people. These people. It's these people here. Right? Hey, let's get it. They're gone now. Anyway. Yeah, just letting you know the anyway, so that's what's going on. But I'm going to bring out this. I'm going to send this